with me regularly ever since that date. Y'all have kept the court well informed of where y'all are at, what was needed, and what was going to happen. And y'all have done that even for today. We've had multiple conference calls before this hearing. We all kind of knew what was going to eventually transpire today. That's because of y'all's diligent effort. And so, Ms. Williams, thank you. State, thank you. Ms. Williams, I do not believe that the delay in this report is a tactic or a fault of yours at all. I think that expert reports, from my own experience, they take time, and just the time frame that I laid down for this case did not give your expert enough time to get things done in a matter of time to give the state what they needed to do. While I know that you're saying you're ready, I also know that you need that full report, and you don't have it. I think that you're weighing that against saying that your client's in custody and you want to be ready to move forward for her best interest, but I also know that you want that full report as well. For you to get that full report a week from now or 2 weeks from now in the middle of trial, and the state to get that report for the first time at that point and then decide they need an expert, I do not think that would be fair and just for either side. And we've had that conversation candidly and honestly with each other during conference calls. So even though I'm very reluctant to give a continuance in this case, I do think that it would be appropriate. With that being said, I don't want this case to languish. I still hold by what I told Ms. Patrick at the beginning. I don't want her to sit. If she doesn't need to sit, that's not where she's supposed to be. And only if that's the case will let us see that here today. In order to get there, I got to try this case. So I have dates. I have a trial week that can handle this type of case in March. I have one that can handle this case in May, and I have one that can handle this in August. Now, you both know what's really there. Ms. Williams, you know the true ins and outs of your side and what's really needed. State, I think you're starting to see, based on this report, what you may actually need. Realistically, from each of you, when can y'all tell me we can be ready by this date and this case not have to be moved?
Judge, from the state's perspective, I think the best date would be that August date for everyone. That seems to be a date that will match up with what our needs are in terms of coverage for other courtrooms, as well as just the opportunity for our experts to prepare to combat any and all defenses as presented by Ms. Williams in the defense.
Ms. Williams?
Your Honor, I think that August would probably be the best to fit the court's need of not having to move it again. Realistically, I think that maybe if we said, March, we probably would be back here at in the same position to say, hey, maybe we need a little more time. So I don't often agree with the state, but I will say August would be the best bet if we're trying not to come back here and have the same announcement.
So I don't like setting cases just to set, which is why, in all candor, it'd be easy for me to sit here and go, let's place this on March, but know in the back of my mind, March is not going to be a realistic date. So with that being said, if we go with August, State, you're saying August, defense, you're saying August, are we all under the understanding that the chances of this case being moved off that August date are slim to none?
Absolutely.
And that barring some true just legal issue that I have to honor for fairness and justice to prevail, outside of that, we are going to make this case go. Everybody can agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Williams, you've talked with your client about this ahead of time. I know that. She is still in custody. I understand that today would have been a better day. Is your client also comfortable with that August date?
I don't know if comfortable is a good word, but I advised her of where we are and what moving into August would mean. And strategically, I think, and practically, she trusts me and my advice, and so I think we are in a position where we'll be okay with August.
Okay. All right. based on what's been presented for me today, we'll place this on, I believe it's August 3rd. We'll place this on August 3rd. And with that, the understanding that if I'm going to bypass 2 trial weeks in order to get there, I'm bypassing 2 days that I could set it on, right? But by doing that, I'm giving defense and state all the time you could possibly need to have this case ready. And August 3rd needs to be our day. We need to come in August 3rd, ready to pick a jury. All right? Where everyone's on the same page.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Again, I do want to stress how grateful I am to defense and state on how well y'all attacked this case. The general public, I don't believe they fully grasp the difficulty of preparing a case like this. While we did set this at a very ambitious date, August still has Ms. Patrick getting tried within a year of her indictment. In other words, we will not reach a year of her indictment. Her case can go trial again. For a case like this, if you look across the state of the country, that is very fast, even in August, Ms. Patrick. And I believe your attorneys probably explained that to you to some degree. But it does need to be August. So August 3rd.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is in regards to the state. They haven't turned over a report in its entirety, and that's why the judge like, well, no, we gonna wait because we want to do this in all fairness. Okay, so I guess y'all want to know what I got for y'all. So y'all know that since our hearing date, our trial date is being moved, well, that ain't our problem, right? The defense, that's not, they say that's not their problem, right? Boom. Here we go. And y'all probably can't. I don't know if y'all can see it. If y'all can see it or not. Let me see if I can blow it up. So y'all can see it. Here we go. January 5th, 2026 at 12:28 p.m. State of Georgia versus Sarah Grace Patrick. Remember, y'all heard it here first. Motion for immediate bond reconsideration. So comes now Sarah Grace Patrick through her counsel and respectfully requests that this court grants immediate, right now, reconsideration of bond. Now, defendant shows the following. Defense moved for a bond and said motion was heard on August the 15th, 2025. Remember, we watched that the other day. The court denied this bond, citing risk to flee, risk to influence witnesses, and to threaten the community and family members as reasons in the order filed on August the 19th, 2025. Calendar call was scheduled on December the 16th, right? At that time, the defense announced they are ready for trial. Like, we ready. At that time, there was a pending report from the defense expert. The defense verbally and in writing notified the state of its intention to present the expert testimony in the area of forensic neuroscopy, the G. That word, y'all know that N word, y'all know me. Whatever, y'all see it. The trial was still scheduled for January 5th. Now, remember, they had the calendar called on the 16th. Defense said they were ready for trial. They talked about this report at this time. So the trial was scheduled for January 5th. Defense again announced ready for a trial. Like, they just all ready for trial. We ready. We just heard her say, hey, we ready. But the judge was like, well, no. With the preliminary report having been submitted, and the state made a motion for a continuance. That's what we just see. The court granted the state's motion for further and gave further anticipated trial date for August the 3rd, 2026. Since her incarceration on July the 17th, 2025, defendant has been in solitary confinement. I can't even imagine what that could look like, what that could feel like to be 17 years old. And I'm assuming solitary confinement means that you're in there all by yourself, four walls, or it just seemed like it's like a horrible, horrible experience. And to have to endure that, we at the beginning of the month, August is all the way in the fourth quarter, depending on which way you look at it. So the defendant continues to assert she has, let me see if I can blow this up some because I can't see it, y'all. Okay, defendant continues to assert she is not at risk to flee, not at risk to intimidate witnesses, not at risk to the community, and not at risk to re-offend because darn it, we didn't do it in the first place. Because of aforementioned above reasons, we pray that the court will immediately reconsider the bond in this case and set it down for a hearing at the next available calendar date for this court. Okay. With that being said, we have a date of January the 27th at 9:00 a.m. Reportedly, allegedly, maybe, sort of, kind of. Hopefully, we'll keep our eye on the prize. And from my understanding that there are a lot of witnesses to this case. I don't know the exact number. I know that people that actually came to the hearing today were also issued subpoenas again. Were handed subpoenas when they came into court today. So it looked like on January the 27th, we will see if they give her bond. I guess my question to you guys, considering that it's not her fault, she is presumed innocent until guilty. My question to you guys, and I should guess I'll put out a little survey real quick. I would like to know, do you guys think that just based off the fact that they had it was their delay, their issue? Remember, defense like we ready, like they don't want her sitting in there any longer than what she has to be in there. Should they grant this with some type of ankle monitor? Come on, like regardless of, I know I understand with the family, but she's not going nowhere. There's ways they can, prevent this. She does have a good community around her supporting her. So I just want to see what y'all say. Cause I would go crazy. Even as an adult sitting in some place where I'm in solitary confinement all the time. Let's see. So I just put us a poll in there if you guys want to do it. Juvenile detention. I don't see that happening. So you don't think they'll let her out, James? I don't know. I'm just kind of like coming in the back end of the chat. So don't pay me no attention if you respond to something different. You can, drunkie, only you can still talk to other inmates. Is that what it is? Oh gosh, that don't seem like that work. Or yeah, we did have one case where they made the whole baby through the vent. That didn't work. Yeah, so shout out to the my little birdies that helping me out. Also, I do want to put in our I'll put it in our description box, and I'll also put it in our chat for anybody that, I mean, considering that she is in there in solitary confinement, if any of you guys support, you know, any supporters that want to write her letter or anything like that, I am going to put the information and pin it to the top of our chat. I know this was kind of impromptu, so give me a second and I will pin that to our chat for you guys. Okay. While y'all filling out the survey, I'm glad that I think this judge should have told them that they should have been doing it in May, but and I'm putting all the instructions in here and I'll copy it over to our description box for anybody that needs it afterwards. Okay. Okay. I'm going to pin that to the top. I am going to also copy it and put it in our description box. I just want to make sure I got all this stuff together for her, for anybody that wants to support her and send her some words of encouragement. Because at the end of the day, I mean, she innocent until proven guilty, and like they have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's the only thing that I can think. That's the only thing that I can say. That's very, very, very important to me. Hey, First Best, how are you? Through the pipe chase, that's still no way of living. Oh gosh. No, say it is not so. Okay, the defense does have a good argument as to discovery. That's good to know, James, because I'm going to keep my fingers crossed because, I mean, like, I just don't want nobody to be somewhere where they do not deserve to be. And I keep saying that we need to have transitional things. Like, transition me. You know, you put me in no doggone place where I can't see nobody, talk to nobody. That'll make you more damage than what you were coming in. So that's my breaking news. We got a date, January the 27th at 9 a.m. I'm pretty sure.